Hello everyone, this is the final project presentation of CSIC5011, Topological and Geometric Data Reduction and Visualization. There are 4 students in our team. We are Li Mingchen, Lin Sinan, Zhang Shihong, and ZhaoLige. In our project, we discussed problems related to reordering a sequence of shuffled faces dataset according to their phase orientation. We use the following manifold learning algorithms to evaluate their performance on this task. And we use this algorithm using Kendall-Tau correlation coefficient and the color bar visualization as our evaluation metrics. Here is the shuffle dataset and the ground truth dataset. The shuffle dataset is a sequence of 33 images of different face orientation of a woman. And on the other hand, the ground truth dataset shows the correct order of faces. The woman's face is gradually turning from right to left. This is the order that we will be using as our reference for the evaluation for the learning algorithm. Diffusion map embedding is a powerful technique used for data analysis and dimensionality reduction. It involves a 5-step workflow that starts with constructing the affinity matrix, which describes the similarity between the data points. Gaussian kernel function is commonly used to calculate the similarity. And the next step is to transforming the affinity matrix to a transition matrix. This step is crucial as it ensures that the matrix is stochastic. The third step is reviewing data structures through a diffusion process. This involves computing powers of the transition matrix. The last step is applying agent decomposition, and we select principal agent vector for dimensionality reduction. After applying this metric, we found that the order of 3 images was incorrect. MDS, the multiple dimension scaling, is a statistical technique used for analyzing and visualizing the similarity or distances between data points. The goal of MDS is to place each data point in a low-dimensional space such that the distance between these points closely reflect their distance in the original high-dimensional space. MDS starts with a distance metric that contains the distance or these similarities between a set of data points. The object function of MDS is to find a configuration of points in a lower dimensional space such that these points' distance approximate the original high-dimensional distance as closely as possible. The result shows that the data representation of the third image in the third row is not very accurate. IsoMap is a nonlinear dimensionality reduction method that preserves the global geometric structure of high-dimensional data. It involves constructing a neighborhood graph, computing shortest paths between data points using algorithms, and using classical MDS to embed the shortest path distance in a lower dimensional space. Here we can see that the performance of IsoMap is good overall, with only the first few images in the first row showing some confusions. LLE and MLLE are dimensionality reduction techniques that aims to preserve the local property of the data. LLE selects the nearest k neighbors for each data point and finds a set of ways that linearly reconstructed the point from its neighbors. MLLE estimates the local tangent space for each point using PCA and calculates the weights by considering the projection of each point onto the local tangent space of its neighbors. LLE performs almost perfectly, with only a few errors in the last few images. MLLE also performs well, with results that are close to the ground truth. LTSA is a dimensionality reduction technique that analyzes the local tangent space of data to review and preserve its geometric structure. It selects the nearest k neighbors for each data point, calculates the local tangent spaces using PCA, agents the local tangent spaces to find a global coordinate system, and construct a low-dimensional embedding by solving an optimization problem. We can see that the sorting result of the second row is somewhat confusing, but the first and the third row is good overall. TSNE reduces dimensionality by preserving the local structure of data in high-dimensional space. It calculates similarity probabilities in both high and low-dimensional spaces and minimizes the callback label divergence between them. And here is the result of these methods and the hyperparameters we select. PCA transforms data into a new coordinate system that maximizes the variance along new axes. It involves data standardization, covariance metric computation, and agent vector computation, selection of principal components, and data transformation. The result of these methods shows good performance in the first half and back, with some issues in the middle part. UMAP aims to preserve both local and global structures of data in high-dimensional space, while mapping it to a lower dimensional space. It constructs a neighborhood graph in high-dimensional space, optimizes the low-dimensional representation, and applies closed entropy optimizer using SGD or a similar algorithm. And here is the hyperparameters we selected and the result visualization. Lastly, we would like to compare the results of different dimensionality reduction methods. We use the Kendall-Tau correlation coefficient. This coefficient measures the similarity between two rankings and ranges from -1 to +1. While -1 indicated complete agreement in the contrary direction, and +1 indicating complete agreement in the original direction. In addition, a gradient color scale was used to visualize the result, with the ground truth shown in the first row from deep purple to deep red. By observing the colors, the result of each method can be well compared.